What does AI and Simon Cowell's new boy band December 10th have in common? Neither of them are of the age to understand complex human emotion. Bad joke? Not really. I know there's been just a few conversations surrounding AI as of late. More than just a few? A lot. Great. I had not noticed. I don't want to add to the noise, so much has already been covered. Actually, just the other day, Jackie Drushko published a pretty well-rounded view on the limitations of AI, but the necessity of understanding it to keep up with careers and industry. Check it out in the description below. Look, I believe AI sucks, and although I had heard all of these commentaries and agree with them, yes, AI is essentially an idea grinder, chewing up other people's food and baby birding new dishes back out until something looks appetizing enough for you to sample. I still found it quite difficult to form my own opinions into an understanding that would make sense to me. Thankfully, I didn't need to because Simon Cowell did it for me. Released on December 10th. Oh, I get it now. Simon Cowell's The Next Act brought together hundreds of teenage boys to see who had the chops to become the next One Direction. Is the show trash TV? Yes, it is. Do you care who gets chosen? Well, are you a teenage girl? No? Then alright, no, you don't. What the show did provide was an interesting look into the process of choosing the new band members and the various hoops they had to jump through to get into the next round of auditions. If it wasn't obvious, a lot had to do with singing. But it was one round in particular in which my mind supernovaed. You know the blue image with the blue man? Yeah, just like that. Stood before Simon himself and some other music producers, the boys had to sing Shaboozie's A Bar song. Let's have a look at some of these lyrics, shall we? Forgive my goofy movie slam poetry reading of these, I am not singing it. My baby wants a Birkin, she's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working, why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems, I can't take them when I'm gone. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey, they know me and Jack Daniels got a history. Forgive me for this. Before we continue, I want to make it clear, no hate to these boys, they are young. The oldest at this point was 18, I think. They did nothing wrong, actually they were great singers, really. But when they relayed this song, oh boy, they sucked. And I couldn't work out why, until I realised. They don't have the life experience. Now, that may be controversial. You don't need to be of a certain age to experience struggle in life. Though, there is nuance to struggle and that's what makes art art. Here we are making kids sing about working heavy 9 to 5s while struggling to pay bills, while your partner is wanting more out of life. Of a history of alcohol abuse problems. There just isn't that connection there, and what was produced by the boys was this uncanny, poppy, bubblegum tale of an alcoholic. Now, is this really that serious? No. It was an elimination round of a trash TV show, though as I explained before, it helps me understand my problem with AI. AI has no life experience, it is a regurgitator. Even in Jackie Drushko's video, she had trouble producing unproblematic AI artwork of her style because she hadn't sacrificed enough of her work. Is this a new take of AI? No. It is the take. However, when placed under the microscope of writing, it allows us to better understand the importance of protecting our work and provides us a glimmer of hope for the future. Over the last few months, I've seen more and more articles explaining creative use of AI and how models are being delegated to simple, more administrative tasks. I believe we're reaching a point of which the bubble is at bloating point and we'll see a scale back before it truly bursts. Is that good enough? Well, it is something we have to live with. If AI has to stick around to pick up menial work under the management of humans, that's not all that bad. We've been automating systems for a long time now. So, having said that, I thought it would be interesting to look at two examples of unfiltered AI, of AI being the more primary creative individual and a tad less of the interpreter. Number 1, Books by AI. An online bookstore which sells science fiction novels generated by artificial intelligence. At first, I believed this site was satire. The books are virtually unreadable, the book covers are a mess, the reviews on the site are generated. However, you can buy physical copies of the books on Amazon. Created by generative AI-focused artists Andreas and Mikkel, unfortunately it is not satire but a statement, so-called art. That's where the problem lies though. It's harmless enough until you start bringing money into the mix. Harmless enough until it caters to a certain audience. One that believes, as this Amazon review states, that it would be pretty cool if AI could write a personalized book one day. As new technology appears, somebody somewhere will monetize it. Training your books from Project Gutenberg, a library of over 75,000 ebooks, copyright free, check it out in the description. Unfortunately, not much you can do there. However, training your model on books from Amazon? That just sucks. Though, as seen in this article, June 2025, where a judge ruled that Amazon's partner Anthropic isn't breaching authors' copyrights by training models on books due to their models not reproducing their works, but being transformative, insert a groan and eye roll. Oh, was I supposed to? It hits harder when books by AI are training their models to produce this kind of trash. Here's an excerpt from one of their books, The Serious, A Proven Divorce. Now, it is a little blurry, so bear with me here. Chapter 4 in the Adrivad of Confound. That the moon must repeat to the travel of Mars, Mary that now will well come before patron did never be merely entirely escaped. In turn that stakes his city here, is separated in our family of the teps which it works on a planet, passing out of later gravity in a good worry of breadths. Now, that was difficult to read, I think I even missed a word out there. But what's my point? As I mentioned earlier, AI sucks at writing. It just can't. Not really. This example is a showcase that, in essence, we're fine as creatives, but in reality, what needs changing are the laws surrounding the technology. Number 2, The Road by Ross Goodwin. Now, this is something I can get behind. What we'll be looking at here is an experiment. The Road was written using a car as a pen. A camera attached to the car would read the environment, pass it on over to an AI writing machine and document the trip in the form of a manuscript. As Ross explains, this experiment was done to, quote, push literature forward by imagining new interfaces and methods of writing. Now, it's deeper than that, and Ross also explains that I fully understand that writing machines like these could be used for more nefarious purposes, such as deception or propaganda, and I want people now to look at these patterns and to learn how to recognize them, because if you see anything that reminds you of one, The Road, a magazine or book, or on a website, sometimes in the near or distant future, it may not have been written by a human, and we should all be aware of that. Okay, sweet. Listen, this one isn't that deep. I think it's quite cool. Check it out in the description. But if this isn't a problem and Ross's intentions were rather good. Why am I bothering mentioning it? Well, because AI is not our enemy. I've provided 3 examples in this video of AI use. Let me sum them up for you. Number 1, relying on AI to produce emotionally driven work without the capability to have understood or experienced the themes does not and will not work. It doesn't work for humans, it won't work for AI models. 2, training AI to produce creative work for monetization based on the efforts of millions of artists, whether famous or not, is scummy. Using AI to produce unique and creative work in full transparency of the buyer, using unique methods to train the model yourself, is interesting and should be celebrated. Now, maybe this video came across as a bit all over the place. In a way, it was meant to. Understanding the effects of AI can be more than expansive. We didn't even touch on the environmental impact or the psychological impact on developing children and young adults at all. If there's anything you should be taking away from this video, it's that we as humans are the controller. We should treat each other with respect and kindness and understanding. The problem with AI isn't its existence or potential use case to make our lives easier, of course not. It's the incessant one to undercut our own creativity and steal from others while blaming a technology that can't write a sentence without clear, direct instruction. I've always been told, don't blame the dog, blame the owner. Although the dog is potentially dangerous, the owner is in full control and responsible for his actions. Check out Jackie's video in the description. It's a fun experiment and interesting to see how close AI can come to achieving her style of artwork with limited reference points. Thank you again. If you enjoyed, give a like and subscribe. Have a good day. Bye.